Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Evening Goose. Once again, I'm your host, Andrew Ginsberg. I'm a former tech employee turned stand-up comedian, and now I spend all my time diving into the latest and greatest stories in AI, technology, space, and beyond. And for today's episode, we're going to be diving a little bit deeper into the Beyond category. You ever have one of those moments where you feel like you're in like a weird movie? That was me. Here I am. Iceland, 2017. I rented a van with a bunch of my friends, and our plan was to drive around Iceland. I was like 28 years old. We're having a great time, circumnavigating the country, taking in all the prehistoric sites, looking at volcanoes, looking at glaciers, swimming in geothermal pools. But what I really wanted to do was see the Northern Lights. Now, when I went to Iceland, I downloaded an app that helped me track the Northern Lights. So since we were living in a van, we could follow the solar storms, find the Northern Lights, park, and wait for them to show up. And that's exactly what we did one night. We parked our van in some remote field, somewhere with like zero light pollution, miles and miles and miles and miles away from society. There wasn't a gas station or a hot dog stand for 20 miles. And I waited and waited. My friends went to sleep in the van. I sat outside with a little cooler, and I was sitting there kind of drinking beers and staring at the sky and going, please let me see these Northern Lights, because I really don't think there's a good chance I'm gonna come back to Iceland again. Can I please just see them now? I'm looking up at the sky. I don't see anything. And so I started to nod off and fall asleep outside in a remote field in the middle of nowhere. But then at about 2 a.m., I looked up at the sky and I started to see something that I didn't expect. The Northern Lights had begun. Now it turns out when the Northern Lights come down from the sky, it's kind of like when the Dementors come down in Harry Potter. It started out as like streaks coming down, you know, like someone had said his name or something like that. And then you start to see the gray come down all around you. Gray streaks were colliding all around me like fog, and the gray fog was turning into an explosion of lights and color, like a natural rave party. There's blue and yellow and purple and green exploding all around me. This is the Northern Lights, and we're all just freaking out, dude. It was literally like the Earth had opened up a wormhole to another dimension, and we were not on drugs. We were just out there vibing in the middle of a field with a natural light show all around us. It was the most intense thing I ever felt in my entire life, and to this day, one of the most profound experiences I've ever had. So folks, let's talk about the Northern Lights. Let's go beyond. Let's get into it. The Northern Lights, or aurora borealis, are basically a glowing rave party in the sky triggered by our sun being a drama queen. The sun consistently releases charged particles called the solar wind. When a big solar storm hits, the sun hurls these particles at Earth. It's like a big glitter party. But Earth, it has this magnetic field. Think of it like a planetary force field. Most of the time, it protects us. But near the poles, magnetic field lines curve inward and funnel those particles into our atmosphere. When the particles collide with gases like oxygen and nitrogen, they release light. Green comes from the oxygen about 60 miles up. Purple and pink come from the nitrogen. And red, that's high altitude oxygen, man. Pretty rare and super terrifying when you see it. It's literally our planet ducking from like solar violence. But man, it's trippy, dude. You might not know this, but this actually happens everywhere near the poles around the world, not just Iceland. In the south, it's called the aurora australis. Same phenomena, less people interested. But what's super freaky and eerie is that auroras can actually be heard. People report hearing popping or crackling sounds during the light show. Scientists still don't really understand why. The best theory is that particles ionize and create a static discharge, blah, blah, blah. It's the universe, man. Cultures all over the world have tried to explain the aurora for centuries. The Inuit thought they were the souls of animals, whales, seals, deer, playing in the sky. That's also what they thought in The Lion King, that they were just kind of like lions in the sky. In medieval Europe, people thought the auroras were omens or divine messages from above. The Cree believed that Northern Lights were just ancestors dancing. I like that, and that makes a lot of sense to me. But that's what I love about it so much. Every culture around the world looked up at the sky and felt the same sense of mystery. Even with all of today's satellites and science, the auroras are still quite mysterious. They're unpredictable, they don't show up on command, you can track them all you want and still miss them. They're also a pretty staunch reminder, in my opinion, that the sun is actually really powerful. The same solar flares that gave me my cosmic light show can also knock out GPS, interrupt power grids, and mess with satellites. In 1859, a solar storm known as the Carrington event actually made telegraph machines catch on fire. If that happened today, it would be a major communications disaster. So yeah, the Northern Lights are pretty, but they're also proof that the universe could just kind of cancel this whole Wi-Fi across the planet anytime it wanted to. Folks, thanks for watching another episode of the Evening Goose. I've been Andrew Ginsberg. Please like, subscribe, support the channel. Thank you to my new subscribers, and we will see you soon. Have a great one.